Oh, Deborah, I am so excited to hear about all of the things that have happened for you since saying a big fat hell's yes to yourself in Soul to Soul. And before we even dive in, would you just share with us where you're from, how old you are, all that good stuff, what you do?
So I'm from London. My name's Deborah, as you said. I'm from London. I'm 32. I turned 32 during Soul to Soul. Best birthday I've ever had, honestly. And yeah, I signed up to Soul 14 weeks ago now.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So there's so many celebrations that I'm so excited for you girls to all hear. And by the way, I'm in quarantine, so the lighting sucks, but we're not here to be perfect. Deborah, when she first came to us, if you need to close your eyes and put your hand on your heart, just to go back there, because I know it might feel foreign. Where were you that had you reach out to us? What wasn't working? Why did things need to change for you?
Oh, it's hard going back there. I was totally numb, stuck, bored, low. I had just come out of a relationship, another failed relationship, losing hope about finding someone and my dreams. I was giving up on my dreams fast. I was numbing myself a lot, distractions, keeping busy, overeating.
Yeah.
TV, 6th year in my flat, same old daily grind. Nothing was changing, so I knew that I had to change something. But at that time, I was thinking, I was sort of losing hope. I really was losing hope fast.
Yeah. And I know that you'd also tried some things before, and you came to me, you kind of were in the energy of like, I've done all the things, which is how many of you feel. Yet it's all very irrelevant if it's not significantly changing your life. We can sit there saying, I've done it all, but what that does is it keeps us from actually taking more action. So, what I'd love to do is hear from you on, actually, when you stand there, darling, you block the light. It's great. Why was Soul to Soul different to the other things that you've done? Like, what had you done? Just share with us in a nutshell.
I had read every self-development book out there. I'd had a therapist for 7 years. I'd had various coaching. I'd gone on retreats. I'd done the meditation. I've done the mindfulness. I had tried a lot, and I was hiding behind that. I felt that because I had tried it all, then I had done the work. There was no more I could try, and it was a defense mechanism. I had this therapist for years. So Soul to Soul, it totally called me from the start. It was a whisper. So that I didn't get, it took me a few tries to actually really go for it.
Yeah.
But there was this heart whisper of, this is something that could check. This could be something, the thing that you need.
And
so it's a heart calling.
I'm just getting chills when you say that, because I know there are people listening right now that can absolutely relate. Let's see if I can block this light. They can absolutely relate to, it's almost like I've taken all these action steps, and yet you're really deflated going, well, I've done all these things and it didn't work. So like, why would this work? How is this going to be different? But what I love in your sharing is it was something different in terms of where the energy was coming from. Like, it was a whisper of like, but this could be it.
Different. It wasn't a heady thing.
Yeah, that's what I really want you girls to hear right now, is you can feel really, really disappointed and frustrated and angry, right? Angry that, oh my God, I'm doing these things. It's not like Deborah was lazy. And then you get complacent and you get into this energy deep down of giving up. Like, I've just deep down, you're kind of like going through the motions. Yeah. So, I mean, I'd really love to hear, it's a sliding doors moment, Deb, where we did eventually invite her in, I think on the third time, but because before it was almost like you wanted your excuses more. And this is very typical, right? I don't, yeah. So we couldn't invite you in, but then you came back and it was like, oh, fine. I'm going to, you know, I need to do it.
Yeah.
Really, I want you to share with these beautiful women that are feeling called to this on where you'd be if you didn't do this, knowing everything that's changed.
Oh my gosh, I dread to think about that, because I'd be the same. I'd be stuck sitting here with my excuses, my Netflix, and my overeating, and on, you know, doing the work, reading the books, trying the same things. Probably have lost more hope. In fact, I might have got very low, gone down a really bad rabbit hole, victim. I think because of COVID, I would have blamed COVID and lockdown. And jumped on that bandwagon and felt very low and sorry for myself.
Well, it's a lot to take right now with the way the world is, and more than ever, you know, this is about, you know, every one of you watching this, taking care of yourself and getting the support to pull yourself out of it. Because what I remember about you is that you'd given up on also wanting to be a mum.
Yeah.
You'd seen others around you kind of, you know, getting, when a lot of women come to us, they get jealous, they get triggered. They're like, well, why can't I have that? Talk to us about what shifted in Soul to Soul around thinking, oh, I don't need to be a mum.
I actually went down that route. I thought, I'll be the aunt, I'll be my friends, you know, I'll look after my friends' babies. This isn't my route. I have polycystic ovaries, so I thought, I'm going to also use that and think, well, I'm probably not fertile anyway. I'm not going to get the checks or anything. I'm just going to hide on that, and that'll be it. Full stop. It's not for me. And I was triggered so much by everyone else getting married, everyone else having babies. It would be this emotional gut reaction from my gut of, oh, they're having it, knowing I'd shut myself off to it. Soul to Soul, by the end, there was a feeling of, oh my God, yes, another friend's engaged. Yes, my sisters get pregnant again, because I know that it's in their life, it's in my vortex. It's coming nearer and nearer, and it's a celebration reaction. I'm now like super joyful to go to weddings, joyful to hear baby news, because it reminds me that I am so close, because I want to be a mum. It's happening for me, and that's something that Soul to Soul gave me. I'm forever grateful for. That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so many things Soul to Soul given me, but yeah, I want to be a mum, and I'm proud of it, and it's going to happen. I'm on that route, and so I've just shifted. I don't have these. My reaction's so different to all of that.
It makes my heart sing. And what Deb is actually speaking to is, because she's filled herself up with her own love, she can be with all the celebrations, because there's no lack there anymore. It's before it was all lack and victimhood and suffering. Now it's, well, I'm having that, so of course I'm going to celebrate you. And we can't fake that. Like what you're seeing with Deb is legit happiness. We can't, people know when you're like, oh, congratulations, when really you're kind of wanting to like punch them in the face. People know, they can feel that. So share with us, take up all the space right now, Deborah, on what you got, because I know you got so much, and I know you even came in, even with the investment, you know, it was just such a big resistance for you. So just
I wanted to bring in that investment. I was in so much scarcity and lack with investing in this program. I wouldn't have dreamt of spending that money. I had the money in my account. I wouldn't have dreamt of spending it on myself.
Yes.
What would I would have put, I'd buy a expensive carpet from John Lewis in London, and not spent this investment on me. It was just, I was clutching at the pennies in my account. I wasn't enjoying any of it. And the best thing was actually really the shift of spending that money on myself and embarking on Soul to Soul. That was the biggest up level of the whole thing, really. Feeling super expansive and stepping boldly and making that investment in myself. That was amazing. I said, fuck you to scarcity straight on. And it was like, yes, I've just spent all this on me, and I'm showed the universe I was putting me first. Soul to soul, I have up leveled so much. I love me now. It's me that comes first. I orgasm now. I want, that was huge. I came in, I'd never orgasmed before. It was a huge area that shifted for me. I put pleasure first every single day. I'm grateful for everything in my life. People have react so differently. From my family, friends, work colleagues, my boss has praised me in every meeting. New colleagues come in and say I'm the welcoming one, and people are gravitating towards me. I have a completely different energy. Yeah. I'm seeing a new guy who I started seeing at the end of Soul to Soul, who's amazing, like really ticks so many boxes. And it's not just about ticking boxes. He makes me feel amazing, and he's smoking hot. And I just didn't know there was men like that existed. That's like really great. And I'm incredibly attracted to him. Previously, I'd always settled, and I'd always go for guys that like me, and deep down I never really liked them. I just wanted the control of it. Now it's like dating like a smoking guy, and I feel like, wow, I'm so, but then I feel like he's lucky to be with me, and that's the 100%. Difference. I feel fantastic and in my energy. Just so many shifts. The big thing is my boundaries. I say no. I used to be a people pleaser. I'd give everything and more, thinking I needed to prove myself to deserve love and blend in. It would be about my friends. It would be about my colleagues, but way before me. My family, I'd have to be what they needed me to be. My sister, I'm basically on the floor, praising her. And now, no, I totally have boundaries. It's about me. And what's happened through that is that my relationship with them have completely changed. I just feel this, first of all, vulnerability and intimacy with people. It's real.
Yes.
And it's real. I was a bit jazz hands, or I was everything but Deborah, like your book says, which is incredible, your book. I was, like you say, you're Sonia. I was anyone but Deborah in my dating life.
That's the name of a book. That's the name of a book right there.
Yeah. There we go. Everyone. And I feel like, well, no, my gosh, I was everyone but me. I left me at the door. Now I'm me, and it's epic. Being me has brought in so much gold. Yes. And I'm relaxed. I'm not tired anymore. My polycystic ovaries has basically gone. I now have regular cycles, and I don't have the pain associated with it. I've been to like the most expensive gynecologist out there, who put me on pills. I'm off pills.
The feminine. I want you to hear this if you have polycystic ovaries. I have polycystic ovaries, and you can heal yourself. You really, really can. Everything in our body is a symptom of how we truly feel emotionally, and all the conditioning and the toxicity that we carry, it does find its way somewhere in the body. And especially when it's, to do with the feminine, whether it's endometriosis, polycystic ovaries, cysts, all those things, fibroids. I want you to hear right now how powerful you are. We've had women come through with bulimia, with terrible, shocking IBS, colon issues, migraines, depression, you name it. They're not even coming in to heal that. They're coming in obviously to meet the soulmate. But when you clear your shit, can't say it any more articulately than that, like really dive in. And it's like we've been collecting baggage and sewage and all this crap that is keeping us so exhausted and so small. When you actually come and confront that and dissolve that energetically, because we're all just energy, you literally are cleaning up your entire health and your system, and even improving egg quality and all of the things that matter. And so I'm so glad you brought that up, Deborah, because I get people to watch the documentary Heal on Netflix, or you can buy it on Apple.
And that's your work.
That Anam was pinching me going, this is what you do. And that documentary is showing people how to heal from stage 4 cancer, with the work that honestly we do in Soul to Soul. I didn't know until I watched Heal to go, wow,
Soul
cool.
to soul work.
It is. And it's, I just want you to hear, like, yes, absolutely. We've got engagements, and Deborah's met a beautiful man that could absolutely be the soulmate. He's just a symptom. He's like the cherry on top. But what you're getting is a different life, and healing your body and your energetic field at a cellular level. And we're doing that in 8 weeks, because look, Deborah was doing therapy for 7 years and that wasn't working. And so when those of you who are very cerebral are thinking, how can I change my life in 8 weeks? We're doing it all the time, because there's a level of intensity, it's the level of support, and it's how deep this process goes. It is not for the faint-hearted. Like, it takes courage. Deborah can attest to this, to come in and face yourself and do this.
There was a hell of a lot of fear in me and a lot of voices saying no. Best thing to actually go dive. That was that leap, the courage, the confidence, that feeling of I'm getting out of my way, my own way. I don't know best. I don't, because I got myself into that state. So actually let your heart guide you, follow that whisper. That's so powerful when you can be like, leap into that unknown. And actually Soul is the best thing I've done. I'm transformed. I'm so happy now. I've never felt this amount of happiness, and it was the best thing I did. So, and in such a small period of time, I've shifted completely, and I feel abundant. I feel completely abundant. So it's these different paradigms I'm in, and I feel like the better it gets, you kind of keep going, and it's just an amazing feeling.
And those of you can feel this, right? Where I'm feeling so inspired by Deborah's energy, and she's not sitting here saying, I'm so happy because I've met the guy. You're not getting that from her. He's getting a look in, and she's saying, yeah, I've met someone. But notice how it's, oh yeah, I've met someone, versus that being the focus. Deborah's happy from Deborah. And this is what Soul to Soul is you coming home to the magic of you, where you're so deeply in love with who you are, with so much self-acceptance. I just love this is what's coming through you, versus, yay, I met the guy. It's like, that means you're putting all your freaking self-worth onto someone else, which is not healthy. This transcends. Yeah. And you know what? With your soulmate, it's like, yeah, he's going to adore you, but you adore you more.
That's it. I've got me now. And so I'm a different person in the dating experience. I'm relaxed, I'm sitting back, and I've got pleasure and happiness, and I know how to fill myself up. So it's a very different experience going into this dating, where I'm on the pedestal, and it's like he should be lucky, and therefore I'm coming in with a different energy, but I know I've got my back, and I'm happy no matter what now. Like, I know how to fill myself up, and I've got this, I feel so happy that you know, I'm not attached to that outcome, and that's very much.
And it's your self-worth and your authenticity that are shining through right now. You know, there was a lot of little girl and victimhood energy on our first call, even though I loved you at hello. It was like the little girl just wanted to rule. And so I couldn't invite you in. You know, I was like, nope, you're not ready, because you're still wanting to be in your own way. And I was like, all right, because we only invite you in if we think we can help you. We're not there to, as you know, it's a very selective program. And there are some people we invite in who don't pull the trigger, and it devastates us, because we know that nothing is going to change. You know, it's not like you suddenly just shift 30 years of conditioning on your own. And we don't do it through a book, even though my book is very, very powerful. You need more than a book. You need to be held and supported and held to your highest. We're not focusing on what Deborah's issues were. We're getting her into the big version, the abundant version of who she truly is. That's what our work is, which is very different paradigm to therapy and talking about the same shit. It's like, oh, you know, that's not going to do it.
I was in my own way. You're so right. The little girls were taking over completely. I didn't have any awareness. You can read a book, but you don't feel I now have so much more aware. The queen in me is driving, and I feel in control. And that's where things come up, but I just know Soul's given me the tools to be able to manage all these things and keep keep on the dream highway, stay on the dream highway. It's like those things. I'm not shattered by that. I have so many tools in me now that I can, and I feel still, and I'm able to feel. And that's the thing. I really, the numbing has stopped. I have no reason to numb. I'm not afraid of my feelings at all. So I'm embodying myself, and I'm in real me, my entirety.
There's something I just want to add to that. I have a lot of women that will come to me, and they're actually, whatever program they've done, they've been given coping tools. It's a very different energy. So I'll sort of check in with where they're at, and they're like, oh no, I don't get depressed because I've got the tools. But when I dive deeper, the way the woman is showing up on the phone is very, very disconnected, very robotic. And I'm like, darling, they're not tools. They are coping mechanisms. What Deborah is speaking to, she just said she knows how to connect with herself, how to feel, how to experience life, how to experience those deep, heavy emotions that come up. Whereas there are a lot of coaches out there and programs out there that are going to teach you how to, basically, without saying it, numb, block, avoid, and just cope. That is not living. And it's a travesty when I see women come on the phone with me, because I'm like, darling, they're not tools. Like, they're actually to your detriment, and they're keeping you out of your heart. The tools that we give are tools to get you in your heart and to keep bringing you back to your heart. So I just wanted to make that distinction, because I see a lot of that, and people are also then being like, well, I have the tools, but I want to really just, there are tools and there are tools.
No, that's it. That accepting the emotions allows you to be, it's that authenticity. I was afraid of my emotions.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I get to cry, and I feel like, oh, and a release is coming, and I know that means joy is coming after that, and expansiveness. But I'm not afraid of those tears. They're really expansive. So it's not band-aid tools. It's like tools to actually be able to feel and move through it. And then it's the depth that I now have. I show up as me, not hiding me. There's no hiding. There's no shame areas. It's kind of like, I'm me in everything. And life-changing, honestly, life-changing. I'm so grateful. It's the best thing I've done. And I'm coming out of lockdown. London's, believe it or not, basically still in lockdown, and I'm coming out of lockdown like the happiest person compared to sort of so many people. And I'm so grateful for the process, and the team is wonderful, and you're really held through the process. It's just nothing like you'll experience. So best thing I've done.
Thank you for coming on and sharing your heart with us. I'm feeling super lit by your energy. And now that you've moved through, and you've continued to invest in other follow-up programs with us, this is a different Deborah behind the steering wheel. Like, that investment nearly stopped you. And like you said, you're going to spend that on a rug, or people will say they'll spend it on their dog. When was the last time, I'll ask you watching this, you actually invested in yourself the way that you would with an apartment, the way that you would, as I said, to anyone else? But yet we come last. Like people say, I'll invest 10K in a dog if a dog needs surgery, but $200 for me is too much with therapy. I'm like, this is very, very incongruent. Why do you keep putting yourself last? Because the minute you shift that, the universe is going to come meet you, and then you're going to open yourself up to receiving everything. More money, more love, more joy, more prosperity, like abundance. But when you keep saying no to yourself and putting a lid on, and you're like worth not even $200, you are not going to change your life, and you are not ever going to be able to receive what is actually wanting to come to you. So what would you say to these beautiful souls that are really deeply resonating with your journey, knowing that you had so much scarcity, Deborah, that you've shifted? Like, what would you say to them right now? If the only thing that's in their way is, I don't know if I can afford it, or I don't know if it's going to work for me.
I would say get out of your own way. I would say this is the best thing you can spend your money on. You give yourself that chance. I'm so happy I did it, and I feel that it's the best thing you can spend your money on. And you let yourself have those dreams, because they can totally be yours. But just get out of your own way, take that leap. It's absolutely thrilling and liberating, and then watch this amazing journey unfold, and you deserve it. Take that chance on yourself, get out of your own way. You really are, you do deserve it.
I feel like you're talking to me. I'm like, how do I sign up? I mean, seriously, whatever you're talking about, I'm like, I want that, because the truth is, and I'll just end on this, is so many of us are scared to get what we want. We know how to do misery. We know how to do disappointments, but it's like, can it really be that good? That feels scary. And the answer is yes. As Deborah said, you know, the better it gets, the better it honestly gets. And you're either going down the dream highway towards your dream, or you keep taking detours going down to shit village, victim village, right? Negativity village. And that is just not living. It's Groundhog Day. It's debilitating, and it puts you into a state of dis-ease, misalignment. We're here to live. The universe wants us to thrive. So it's a choice. It's a choice.
I came in looking for a soulmate and I found me, and that's, you know, I'm dating a very cool guy, as you said, but really, like, I've found so much more. So that's the thing, you know, that's what this work does. So you'll get your soul through this, you'll get your soulmate and so much more. So just do it for yourself. Do it. I mean, I really, take that leap.
Thank you, Deborah. And listen, if people want to reach out to you, can they do that?
Of course, please.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Deborah. This was so inspiring for me personally to see how much you've shifted, and the energy that you're emitting is just intoxicating in the best possible way. You're shining. And for those of you watching, you know, you can't manufacture that. The jazz hands and all that I used to live in, and Deborah used to live in, and so many of you are living in right now, it's like one-dimensional, and people can't feel you when it's all just this. But right now, you know, you can feel Deborah's heart, and it's all flowing from such a place of wholeness, which is magnetic. And that's what we turn on in Soul to Soul, is your magnetism. It's not ignite your queen, go get your soulmate in my free group. It's ignite your queen, attract and magnetize your soulmate. It's a very different way to live. Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you so
Very
much.
proud of
Lots
you.
of love.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.